Herm Edwards, football analyst, back with the mothership. He's on a variety of shows, SportsCenter, First Take, and he has had a coaching career that spanned more than 30 years, now back with the mothership, where he worked there for nearly a decade. Herm, the important question to start out, your favorite action movie of all time is what?
Well, I said, and there's probably two of them. I'm hedging my bet, but I said the Gladiators are one of them, obviously. That was an action movie for me, right?
All right. Russell Crowe?
Yeah, with Russell Crowe. I kind of like that one.
All
right. Die Hard, any Die Hard movie with Bruce Willis, I'm all in. I'm watching. You know?
Favorite football movie?
I Remember the Titans with Denzel. Yeah,
But are you watching as just a fan, or are you watching with a critical eye of having played the sport and coached the sport?
Dan, kind of both. But, a lot of it just reminds me of Remember the Titans, obviously, of growing up, starting football, playing football. Back then, it was a little bit different than now, right? I mean,
yeah,
athletes are a little bit different now compared to the era that I played in.
If people are just listening on radio, Herm looks like 40 footballs behind you. The most important football, the most valuable football that you have behind you is which one?
Oh, Dan, that's hard. I'll say this, and I know you're in LA, so this one right here, personal, not team-wise, personal.
First interception, September 25th, 1997.
Yep, and you see what team?
The Rams.
Guess who the quarterback was, Dan?
Joe Namath?
Joe Namath. You'll love this. I'm a rookie, Dan. We're going back to L.A. Dick coached for UCLA. I'm a California guy. Watch Joe Namath win a Super Bowl in '68 when he's running through the tunnel, And now I'm playing against him with the Rams. And about midway through the first quarter, he audibles. And he kind of looks my way. And Harold Jackson's the wide receiver, number 29. And I'm going, uh-oh, he getting ready to come at me. And so he throws a go route. I intercept it and take it to the sideline and get it taped up. We're walking after the game's over up the tunnelway, and there's some veterans walking with me. And I'm going, you think if I gave this ball to Joe, he'd sign it for me? They said, don't do that, Rook. Don't do that. But that's the ball. That's one of them, obviously.
But
and the next one would.
But Herm, they do that now. They're asking Tom Brady to sign.
His graciousness was unbelievable. But when I saw it on television, I said, "Good for Tom Brady. I should have got my ball signed from Joe."
Well, Joe will do it now.
Oh yeah, no. He when I first was hired at the Jets, he came by obviously, and we laughed about the story. I told him the story, and we laughed about it. But I think the second, I don't know if the first ball, second ball. But the championship game we won against the Cowboys to go to the Super Bowl, obviously, was very important.
We're talking to Herm Edwards, analyst for the mothership. A couple of things to talk to you about. Let me start with Mahomes' injury with a high ankle sprain.
Yeah.
Of what you know about that injury, what is Cincinnati's game plan, or does it change at all with Mahomes?
Well, it's going to change somewhat. I mean, his ability to create plays and extend plays are a little bit hampered. But he can still play from the pocket. I mean, that game that he was injured, Andy obviously did a great job of keeping him in the pocket. And I think if you're Cincinnati, knowing that he can extend all those boots and waggles they like getting on the perimeter, that's not going to be part of the deal right now. So if you're Cincinnati, you got to rush him from inside. You got to bring pressure from inside, whether it's linebackers, whether it's a nickelback coming inside, whether it's some stunts by the defensive line, and get him off his spot. And make him move on the ankle. Now, he's a great baseball player. So he's unique in the fact that he can just throw with his arm, right? I mean, there's a lot of plays he throws off platform. That's his baseball ability right there.
Would you have a problem with what happened on the sidelines? If you were coaching the Bills with Allen and Diggs, what role would you play in that?
Well, basically, I would tell Diggs that he's an emotional guy, and those receivers are all the same, aren't they? The history of them. I always tell them this. I know you're always open. You're like 7-Eleven. Get you the ball. I get it, right? But I would have told him after the game, I said, look, man, we got to handle it this way. we're in a playoff game or even a regular season game. You know, all cameras are on us. Our quarterback's struggling right now. Your partner. Rather than to stand in front of him, go sit beside him on the bench and ask him this question. How you doing? Give me the ball, man. I can help you. Help him that way. Don't draw attention to yourself and then have to worry about after the game. Now I got to explain all this. You know, I'm not a loser. No one's a loser. This is not a losing football team. They played a tough game, played a game basically where Cincinnati was. Look, if you watched that game, Dan, I know you did, that game was over in the first quarter. And I say this, they were averaging almost 6 yards an attempt on first down. You got no chance to win that game. You can't stop. Think about that. Every time you turn around on first down, you're making 6 yards. When you're in 2nd and 4, 2nd and 3 all day, they had 30 first downs. You got no chance to win that game. I knew that in the first quarter.
And we don't think of Cincinnati as a physical team, but they out-physicaled Buffalo in those conditions.
They really did. And for the life of me, and Coach McDermott, I know he's kind of addressed it, they got to run the ball, but run it without the quarterback. Dan, you know, we're about the same age. We won watching football, playing football all our life. When is the last time, I can't even recollect, they've always had a running back, the Buffalo Bills. O.J. Simpson, Thurman Thomas, they've always had a great runner. You mean to tell me you can't have a running back? You have to have a running back in Buffalo. That's part of the deal.
Well, and then you look at the Cowboys. They got 2 running backs. To me, they only got 1. They got Pollard.
Yes. Oh, yeah. They got 1.
Like, you got to move on from Zeke Elliott, right?
He's done. He's in the 5-yard line to give him a touchdown and keep him happy.
Yeah. But if you look, let's troubleshoot Dallas moving forward. Is Dak Prescott a great quarterback?
He's a quarterback good enough can he win a Super Bowl if he's surrounded with players?
Okay.
Look, I say this. Look at the last 10 Super Bowls, the 20 quarterbacks that have participated in that. All of them weren't Hall of Fame quarterbacks. Joe Flacco won a Super Bowl. Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl, right? There have been guys that the team wins Super Bowls. When you have a quarterback, obviously, he's the X factor. But most teams, let me ask you this, Dan. There's 32 quarterbacks in the National Football League. How many of them are Hall of Famers? There's not 32 of them. And teams get to the Super Bowl without this. Is Matthew Stafford a Hall of Famer? Maybe right there, maybe. Probably some people would say, yeah. But you think about this. Jimmy Garoppolo. I mean, we can go on and on.
But is the Cowboys roster good enough to win a Super
Bowl? No, it's not. They need another runner. They need another receiver to help this guy out. He's good enough. Here again. But in playoff competition, the Dallas Cowboys have always found a way to not play in the moment. That's their problem. They talk about the star on the side of their helmet when it's bright, when the bright lights hit, right? We see a guy in LA doing it all the time. Lost last night, LeBron James. The stars show up in big moments. That team has not done that.
Is Mike McCarthy the right coach?
I think Mike's fine. They won 24 games in the last 2 years. They actually won a playoff game this year.
Yeah, but they beat Tampa. They beat Tampa. That doesn't count.
I understand. Did anyone think they were going to beat San Francisco?
They could have beaten them. If Dak plays an average game, Herm, they can win.
I agree if he doesn't turn the ball over.
Yeah.
But that's a lot of quarterbacks in playoff games. Hey, Josh Allen turns the ball over. We're not getting rid of Josh Allen.
well, who would you rather have, so Josh Allen or Dak Prescott?
Well, you want Josh Allen, obviously.
Okay.
But you can win with Dak Prescott. Look, the 49ers are going to win with Brock Purdy.
Yeah, I know. Biggest concern you would have for Brock Purdy. Now, so being a defensive-minded guy, here he is, big stage. He's yet to lose. Didn't look great last week. Now, what do you do? What's the game plan for the Eagles against Brock Purdy?
Get a 2-score lead. Make him play from a deficit where he has to go back and throw.
Yeah, but you got to get a 2. You got to get 2 touchdowns against that defense.
But that has been the formula of Coach Shanahan. The kid is never under duress because he's going to run the ball. He's going to manage the game for him. He's going to make sure he gives him some passes that he can complete. and the defense keeps him in the game. See, and that's what's great about how they're playing. He's never been under stress to say, you know what, it's the fourth quarter, I'm down 2 scores, and I got to go back and throw. We haven't seen that because they protect him. What
would you do if you're running the Packers?
Oh boy, that's a stormy romance at best, right? I mean, it's just unbelievable. And Aaron Rodgers has a way. Look, we're in a championship game. We're talking about more than Aaron Rodgers and the Dallas Cowboys, and we're talking about the 4 teams that are actually playing the championship game. How about that? Look, if they think the other guy's the guy,
but you have to know by now, Herm.
I think they know.
You think Jordan Love is the future for Green Bay?
Yeah, and Aaron Rodgers is kind of sounding like if he doesn't get his guys back, he's trying to be the GM and the coach, right? You just need to play quarterback. If you want to leave, just say I'm going to leave. This is kind of the Brett Favre scenario all over again.
I know.
Right?
But I would,
how about that organization?
If I could move on, if you said we can get 2 first-round picks and he is going to go someplace and we get out from underneath all of this, turn it over to Jordan Love, we may take a step back, but we're probably going to take 2 steps forward eventually if we and they draft really well. Packers very good, and I would move on in a second. No emotion attached to it. It's a business decision.
Agree. It is business. And, when you think about that division, the Lions are in it. They had the best division record. They were 5-1. The Vikings were 4-2. Green Bay was 3-3. So it all, to me, starts in the division. And 3-3 ain't good enough. And if you just bring those same guys back, I don't know if you get anywhere. You're right. I would probably go in another direction because, the problem with Aaron is it seems like he's year to year.
Yeah.
You can't keep living this way. As an organization.
If I gave you an expansion team and I said you can have Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, or somebody else, but you can't have Mahomes.
I can't have Mahomes?
No, you can't.
I would take Burrow.
Okay.
And he reminds me a lot of Joe Montana with his accuracy, with his poise in the pocket. And here's the one I really like. He has a catchable ball. And when you watch that Buffalo game in those conditions, I mean, he has touch. And he doesn't wow you, but he's just boop, boop. He knows how to operate. He does a great job of processing the information, getting the ball out. Everybody talked about his offensive line. They were worried about the offensive line. Yeah. I said, let me tell you something. They're making 6 yards on first down. He ain't going to have to worry about holding the ball. The ball's coming out.
Did you have any success against Montana?
Yes, we did. And then Joe came to us when I was in Kansas City. If you remember with
Marcus that's right. Allen,
yes. When I was on that staff with Marty. How about this staff? It's Marty Schottenheimer. It's Bill Cowher. It's Tony Dungy. It's Bruce Arians. We were all on that staff. And that's the one that you'll remember the game. Yeah. You'll remember the game. This was the team. We had Derek Thomas and all those guys. We get Joe Montana. And I can remember when we getting Joe, I call him Joe Legend. I told the players, I said, you know what? You guys are stars. Joe Montana shows up. He's a celebrity. There's a difference. You guys are stars. He's the celebrity of the group. So we're playing. We get to the championship game. We go to Buffalo. They knock him out in the second quarter, and we lose. The Buffalo Bills go to the Super Bowl.
You guys had so much talent. Kansas
City. You remember that team?
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Christian Okoye, Barry Word. Yeah. Oh, boy.
We Nigerian nightmare.
Yes.
Where is the Miracle at the Meadowlands football?
It sits. Where is that thing? Where is that thing?
Oh, so you do have that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, come on. That's first touchdown. Where is it at? It's oh.
So Joe Pisarcik hands off to Larry Zonka. Zonka wasn't expecting the ball, and Herm picked it up and took it back. Eagles won 19-17.
Right there it is.
First NFL touchdown. You didn't ask Joe Pisarcik to autograph that, did you?
Listen to this. Dan, you're going to love this story. So the next year, Joe comes to Philadelphia as the backup quarterback. He's going to back up Jaws. So imagine this. The locker room was downstairs. We're all in the locker room. and we're knowing he's coming down there. They called the equipment guy, Joe's coming down. So the whole team gets around the door before the door opens. We're all standing there. And Jaws is standing next to me, and that's Ron Jaworski for all those guys that know who Jaws is. That's Ron Jaworski.
Yeah.
And when Joe walks in with Dick, Jaws has the ball, a football, and he drops it on the ground, and he hollers out, "Play it again, Sam." I pick up the ball and give it to Joe.
Now, you spike the ball when you score.
Oh.
So how'd you get it back?
One of the ball boys, I'm not thinking because, I throw it down. And then at the end of the game, I go, I should have kept that ball. And one of the ball boys, he said, "Herm, I got the ball." I said, "Oh, that's good. Thanks." I wasn't even thinking. And here's the crazy part. Yeah. So I spiked this ball, right? Dick Vermeil's on the sideline. Imagine this. He's got his back turned. He's with Jaws and Harold Carmichael and all those guys saying, if we get the ball back, we're going to do this play, this razzle-dazzle.
He misses
play, right?
the play.
He doesn't even see it. The players are running off the bench. He grabs one of the players, and he says, "Where you going?" He said, "Coach, Herm just scored a touchdown."
I'm glad you're back at the mothership. Always great to talk to you, Herm. Thank you very much.
Anytime, my friend. God bless you now.
All right. Herm Edwards, ESPN football analyst.